Hey football fans, I'm Matt. I'm joined by my friend Johnny, and we're here to keep you guys updated on everything NFL related, from scores to predictions. This is the Third and Long podcast on KCAT Radio. Welcome back into the Third and Long podcast. My name is Matt. It's Johnny over there as normal. Playoff football is happening. I'm excited. What's going on?
A lot is happening.
A lot is happening. I'm excited. As less teams kind of are in the playoffs, we're allowed to talk about more. We're allowed to go in more depth. I love it.
Because there's less games to cover.
Exactly. There's less to go over.
Also, do you like the addition to set? I was going to cover your Elway jersey, but I didn't want to
Don't.
be mean.
Yeah,
I didn't want to be mean.
I don't like that it's Rodgers, though.
Well, I wanted to do Rodgers because, he might be leaving.
Fair enough. It's off next week. I'm not letting it stay on next week.
No, it's staying on.
Why? Who says you get to control that? Ryan, do you want a Rodgers jersey?
Doesn't bother me.
God, you're so undecided.
Okay, I'm just contributing to the table of legendness right
Fair
here.
enough.
Okay, we got Aaron Jones.
Okay. My favorite game this week. I really like Buffalo Miami. That game was way better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, no, I mean,
didn't we all say blowouts too? I don't think anyone thought that was going to be.
Nobody thought that. I mean, everybody thought that it was going to be a huge deficit.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. I was pretty happy with it. Just to point out really quick, me and Ryan are both. Drop my pencil. Me and Ryan are both. 5 and 6 in the playoff brackets? Oh, out of this wild card weekend, I only missed Dallas. Big swing and a miss there for me, I guess.
I missed 2.
Yeah, you didn't get Jacksonville or New York. Yeah,
hey, nobody expected Jacksonville.
Yeah, I did. I said Jacksonville. I got that one.
I had the Chargers too.
Okay,
so thank you.
You have to admit, when you watched that game, you were a little shocked.
Okay, as far as like
your early season MVP candidate.
Shh. We don't talk about it.
Oh no, we're gonna talk about it.
It's gonna be gift and like just
Matt,
sent around everywhere.
This is all we get to talk about. It's fantastic.
Okay, I will say this: at 15 minutes into the first quarter, we're done. Just starting the game at kickoff. I was very excited for Jacksonville to win. I had them at halftime. I wasn't so sure. Not gonna lie. That game turned around really fast. Not Justin Herbert's fault, in my opinion. I think the defense just let him down.
But I don't
horribly.
think he played a great game at quarterback either. I think
second half, no. First half, he played pretty good.
I think that he played below where he should be playing at this point in his career. I think that he should have performed better. I think his output should have been higher.
Fair enough. Geno Smith looked actually okay.
No, he did. I'm starting to really like Geno Smith.
I am too. I really don't want them to draft a quarterback. I think they might because they have the 5th pick.
He was tearing up on press conferences saying how
he was so happy. He was so happy.
But I mean, Russ said the same thing.
Yeah,
he's like, I want to win Super Bowls and I want to do it here. And now Geno's old and he's like, I want to finish my career here.
Yeah, he knows he's not a Hall of Fame player. He knows he's not like
he's gonna get traded.
Yeah, I think he'll get traded. They might actually trade the 5th pick down. Well, it depends what they do. If they draft a quarterback with the 5th pick,
what if they trade Geno for a pick?
They have enough. They have a good amount of picks, I think. And they have the 5th one, too, so they get to kind of figure that out.
Imagine having another one.
Yeah, another first rounder would be nice, but who would they trade it to? They could give it to the Colts.
The Colts do need a quarterback.
They do. I don't know if Geno's the upgrade they're looking for. We'll find out.
I mean, dude, the Falcons need some help.
Sure. Well, same thing with Tom Brady. Where's he going to go?
Same thing with the Panthers.
That's true.
And
depends
the Raiders.
That's fair. Well, there's a lot of quarterback needs. This season's going to be weird. This offseason's going to be a little janky,
too. Hold on. I saw a draft board for the Packers.
Yeah.
Dude, our draft board is projecting us to take a tight end in the first round.
I don't know why.
I don't either, but I would not be
Forget
upset.
about all of it.
I wouldn't be upset.
I don't even look at draft boards anymore because I just don't trust it compared to the needs of a team.
It's that's so true.
It's so weird.
But I mean, I love Robert Tonyan, but we do need some help at that tight end spot.
Were there any big upsets this week? I mean, Tom Brady played crap.
Other than Jacksonville.
But that's not even that big of an upset. People were still saying Jacksonville would win, and I still thought they'd win. That's an upset for you two losers. Mm-hmm. But as far as the season goes, makes sense.
You know what? I was wrong about the New York game too.
Yeah, you were the only.
But you know what? I'm not mad about it. I love to see the Vikings fall.
Yeah,
I love it.
You were
it messed up my bracket,
fair.
But I'm not upset about that.
That's a good
any
point.
Means.
Okay, fair enough. Everything else is pretty normal. San Francisco looked hot. I like the Giants. Cincinnati looked pretty good. It got a little close, but they looked good.
Matt,
what's up?
I have something to say.
What do you have to say?
I'm starting to like Brock Purdy a little bit.
He's very likable, right?
I really did not want to like him. I'm like, he's gonna come in, he's gonna play a few games, he'll be okay, and then he'll
this was the first game. I'll say that In the first half of that San Francisco game, it was the first time all season he's looked like a rookie.
But
that's
rough. Because that's the first time that he's really been challenged. Like when they played the Seahawks earlier,
Jax played a really good game.
When they played the Seahawks last time, he wasn't pressured. It wasn't a crazy game.
Sure.
This is playoffs, so playoff football is so much different than regular football.
Yeah, no, but like you'll see when he rolls out, he won't take the corner. Like great thing Josh Allen did, especially during that Buffalo game. Gets out of the pocket and he starts running downhill. He turns to run downhill and then he throws. Purdy was throwing off his back foot maybe 50% of the time he was rolling out. He'd roll out, run straight backwards, step and throw. And that was when most of his throws were dying or they were off target or they were out of bounds and they weren't looking like they were constructed.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like, okay, when you're getting pressured, you can't do that.
Well,
and considering they're playing what? They're playing Dallas?
Well, considering that he's Mr. Irrelevant.
Fair point. But
quarterback play was
Dallas,
where you expected.
Their rush is lethal. They're going to blitz Brock Purdy and make him feel uncomfortable. And he has to be able to handle it or they're not going to get yards.
This is where I become sad because Ryan might be a happy man next week.
He might.
I might, but I have the Niners winning that game. I do have the Niners winning that game.
Okay, so at least you're humble. At least you're like realistic about it, which I respect.
I think that's a toss-up.
I don't. Just because I think even if Brock Purdy gets pressured, if he can settle, he has too many weapons that like you can't really against the Niners afford to pull a safety down and pressure.
Okay,
you can't afford to do it.
Here's what my deciding factor is.
Okay.
If Dak Prescott shows up to play.
That's a very good point. He played really good yesterday.
That is my whole deciding factor because if he shows up not ready to play, the Niners defense is going to mangle him. If he shows up and he plays like good football like he has been, like he did this previous week, I think that they stand a very solid chance and I think that they could win.
See, but here's my thing. It's the Niners game to lose. If they can find a way to pressure Dak, their offense can get going, they're going to sail through. It's really, can they limit mistakes and can they find a way to be as consistent as they have been? It's Dallas needs to overperform to take on the Niners. It's the David and Goliath situation. Dallas needs to rise up to the occasion. I think the Niners are already at that level.
The issue with Dallas versus the Niners is the Niners have proven to show that they're consistent through the season regardless of their quarterback play. Mm-hmm. The Cowboys are 50-50 with every position on that team.
Yeah,
the quarterback play, the running back play, the defense, all of it.
Well, not Micah Parsons. He's the exception.
I think their receiving core is the one thing that is solid every week. But you can't utilize a good receiving core if your quarterback shows up half asleep throwing darts to the ground.
Yeah, that's the only thing that kind of worries me with Dallas is if, you said it before, if Dak does show up, if their line does show up, if their secondary does play really well.
If they come ready to play, I think that they will win that game.
I think this whole Tampa Bay game really set them up for failure.
No,
because they played a really bad-looking team and kind of still scratched through. They still let some points up at the end. I don't know if they were sitting starters. I didn't look that much into it per se, but that's not a great showing.
Yeah,
when they have to go and play San Francisco. The best game for me and what I'm hoping for, Cincinnati Buffalo.
That will be a good game.
That'll be a good game. We kind of expect that. The sneaky one's Jacksonville, Kansas City. Just because Jacksonville looks really hot, and I think the first half is theirs to win.
If Jacksonville pulls this,
if Jacksonville pulls it off,
they might be our next Super Bowl champions.
I don't see them stopping unless Buffalo can somehow stop them. But like that momentum doesn't just die. I feel
it doesn't, and it's kind of crazy because I look at the Jags and I see Trevor Lawrence. I don't see any other aspect of that team. I don't see anything else.
Their defense played really well.
I see
against the Chargers.
I see their
Trevor Lawrence also threw like 5 picks.
They drafted a running back in the draft, right? They have a running back.
Yeah, ETN's really good. ETN's really good.
But other than him and Trevor Lawrence, I don't see.
They have a really good receiving core. Evan Ingram's strong.
It's an underrated receiving core. The way that I look at their receiver core is the same way I look at the Steelers' receiving core.
No.
Yes.
No, I think Jacksonville's got a way better receiving core. Not out of namesake. Not out of namesake. As in like these big names you toss around with like DeAndre Hopkins and like Stephon Diggs and these names you toss around that are league-wide known for being threats. These are sneaky guys that have played really good this season.
Hold on. So you're telling me that you think that the Jacksonville receiving core is better than George Pickens, Deontay Johnson, and I don't care enough to know their other receiver's name. Deontay Johnson led the league in receptions, but was just unlucky to not have.
I think they're more productive. I don't think they're more talented, but I think they're more productive.
I think that George Pickens is one of the most talented receivers in the league.
Yeah, but he's not productive. He hasn't been productive in the last year.
Well,
that might be a quarterback problem. That could also just be a play problem.
That's them working out a new quarterback, a rookie,
Sure.
into this system while also going back and forth between Trubisky.
Yeah, but Wilson, that guy for the Jets, Wilson, he's an animal.
Okay, yeah.
And had pretty bad quarterback play. That can't be every excuse.
Okay, but my point is it's hard to score when you're not getting the ball in those moments where you're wide open and you have a shot to the end zone. It happens all the time. There's a receiver downfield wide open and the quarterback takes a little check down.
Yeah, sure. It happens all the time. It's called football. But
Yeah,
also,
it
like,
happens,
Steelers are irrelevant at the moment. I don't really care. I like Jacksonville receiver.
They will be relevant in the next few years.
This is like the biggest offseason
In the near future.
It's going to be a fun offseason, I'll tell you that much. But
my brain's checked into the offseason.
we have playoff time.
The Packers always make the playoffs.
Because Aaron Rodgers doesn't play like Kirk Cousins.
Be nice to Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, it's a statement of fact. The stats show. Ryan, I want you. Okay, you've had a week now. You've had some time. Please explain to me why you have Cincinnati over Buffalo.
I'm going to stand by what I said last week. I feel like they had a tough game against Baltimore that wasn't really expected for them. They battled through it. They got through it. They're into the next round. Buffalo's coming off a shaky week. I'm thinking against Miami, a backup QB. I feel like Cincinnati has a decent chance at pushing through Buffalo. Just wait till it happens, guys. It's going to happen.
Words,
and
Josh
just wait.
Allen. He's going to hurdle Eli Apple.
Josh Allen
stick
did
him in
not
the
play well
dirt
in the first
and run
half.
for 95 yards.
I have two more words. Stephon Diggs.
Those are two other good words.
I like those two
words.
Those are two other really good words.
I have another two. Defense.
That's one word.
Defense. Two separate words, like a hyphen. Don't write it out and show it to me. I know how to spell. Okay.
No, I have to.
What about Bills defense? D dash fence. Okay, that's two words.
Yeah.
Stop looking at it.
I'll count it.
Okay, cool. Great. Can we count it?
Yeah, we can count it.
Okay. Defense. I like Buffalo's defense a lot. They
They
had a
have
shaky
defense.
week. Miami played really good.
I've liked their defense since week
I've liked their defense since week one.
against that game with the Rams.
Yeah, they've played really well.
I love that game.
Yeah. Here's the game you guys are going to fight me over. I have the Giants beating Philadelphia. They've played each other. They have film. They know how it works. I really like this game.
I think it'll be a solid game. I think it'll be a battle and a dogfight.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be close. I don't think it'll be a win by.
It's a one score. It's a one score for sure.
I think that somebody's gonna win by 4.
Okay. Are you saying last possession? Are we saying
I'm literally saying last possession.
So last possession wins.
And you can't win it with a field goal. It's gonna be somebody wins by 4. A team is gonna be forced to drive downfield and not be able to take that field goal, and they're gonna have no time left on the clock.
Yeah.
And they're either gonna get it or they don't.
So that's a really good point, Ryan. Do you agree with that? Do you think it's a one score?
I think it's 1 to 2 scores.
You're such a weenie.
I think the Eagles are going to show up with
Can we just
Jalen Hurts.
stop talking to
You're
him?
being deceived by the record, okay?
No, I don't think so. I mean, the Cowboys played them twice.
Cowboys about to get smacked
Matt,
by the Niners.
I'm pretty sure he's a Padres fan. It doesn't matter.
He's a Padres fan. Doesn't matter. You're totally right. Totally. You're a Dodgers fan, right?
Yeah.
I don't like you, but we both hate the Padres.
Yeah. So.
Padres fans. Okay. That's going to be a good game. I'm telling just the world right now. It's going to be a good game.
It's going to be a good game.
I agree.
I don't
Go away, Ryan.
disagree with you at all on that.
Okay. I'm excited for the conference, though. This is when it gets kind of sketchy.
Yeah, that'll.
Because Kansas
That'd
City
be fun.
Buffalo, except for Ryan, gosh. You
Can't
have
be
to make
generic.
everything so difficult. If you pick the Bills,
You can't pick the top 2 seeds. It never happens.
it
The top 2
does. It's
seeds
happened
never
numerous
happens.
times. It happens all the time. What does that statement make? So because it's a 3 seed and a 1 seed, that means that it's totally possible.
I mean, I think a 2 seed can make it, but I think Cincinnati is playing better right now than Buffalo is playing right now. And I think that translates to next week.
They both had close games against pretty good teams.
Both against backup quarterbacks. I saw Joe Burrow playing better than Josh Allen in most of the game when I watched both games.
Okay, but I'm not arguing with you.
I didn't even listen to what he had to say.
I know
I've
you
been
did.
drawing.
Yeah, you've been doodling.
I've been trying to figure this out.
I want to get a close up of Johnny doodling at least once in some episode because you
Matt,
do it often.
Don't you keep the papers?
Oh, I don't have them anymore.
You should keep the papers, and
I
at
should.
the end of every
I take a
season-
picture of 'em?
No, we'll post
He doodles some weird stuff. It's really weird.
dude. I just draw.
Yeah.
I'm an artist.
Okay, I have to ask though. So you have Philadelphia, San Francisco.
Yes.
Ryan, you have Philadelphia, San Francisco.
Correct.
Out of those two teams, which do you think is going to be, first off, let's go with this, healthier going into the conference?
Let's correct this. I think that the Philly game could go either way. I think San Francisco makes it.
Sure.
I'm completely torn on whether or not New York or Philly takes this.
Yeah, I really don't know. I want to say Philly. I'm not including Ryan in this because he's the one who said 1-2 scores. There's no way Philly beats the Giants by like 14 points.
Watch what's going to happen, and he's going to come in, and he's going to be all cocky, and he's going to be like,
yeah.
That'll suck.
That's when we take his microphone.
No, that's where
I want to take the microphone.
That's where we just put our heads down and say, "Okay, Ryan, you were right."
Fair enough. I was wrong
Ryan.
about the Dallas game.
Ryan, I know we bully you a lot, but we love you.
I appreciate that.
I gotta say, a Buffalo San Francisco Super Bowl is going to be way more entertaining than anything else.
Dude, I think that the Giants could put up a really good game
Against San Francisco?
No, against Buffalo.
Really?
I think if the Giants managed to make their way to the Super Bowl, that would be a really interesting game.
Daniel
to watch.
Jones is the next Eli Manning. That would be cool. That'd be kind of cool.
Because you think about it.
Well, but like I just see
hold on,
Buffalo as this entity. That's
a lot
just
of people look at New York, right?
Sure.
They look at the Giants and they see Daniel Jones, they see Danny Dimes,
Sure.
they see Saquon.
Sure.
That's it. They don't look further into it.
That's a good point.
It's such an underrated team, and I just realized this like maybe an hour ago.
That's fair. That's fair. It's why I don't understand why Ryan's saying like Philadelphia by 2 scores, because I think the Giants had a harder schedule than Philly.
Oh, 100% agreed.
I think they've had to play harder teams. I think they've had to battle more. And I think that kind of like Philly's seemingly acted like every game was theirs this entire season.
And they still managed to lose some pretty easy ones.
Yeah.
But Matt,
Philly's really deceiving me right now.
As we all know, crazy things happen in the playoffs.
That's a good point. Dallas could beat San Francisco. I'm not going to put it out of the question.
Anybody could beat anybody right now.
The only team that I'd say is a lock, if San Francisco plays the Giants, I think San Francisco still takes it. I think their defense is too good. And I think they can stop Saquon, which makes Daniel Jones have to throw.
Yeah.
And that kind of adds this just other aspect of it, and we have to hope Daniel Jones can't throw the ball.
I'm going to go ahead and side with you on this, even though I really don't want to because I don't like siding with you.
Yeah, if Dallas wins, though, it's kind of a toss because Dallas is taking down kind of the... Honestly, I think San Francisco, as far as like play-wise, is the number 1 seed. They're the best team in the NFC.
I think that any team could take it at this point. Every team that's here, except for maybe Dallas.
Jacksonville
fought their way into this.
That's a good point. If Jacksonville wins, I think momentum is an underrated key. That's the only thing Ryan has said today that I've been really like understanding about. Cincinnati does have momentum.
No, Cincinnati has momentum. Jacksonville has momentum. San Francisco has momentum. All of them have momentum.
Dallas is the only team that doesn't, and that's kind of why I do pick San Francisco.
Well, and dude, Dallas, I mean, they played some good teams this year, but they had relatively easy schedule.
They had a really similar schedule to the Giants and Philly, though. That's the only issue because that I look at the Giants.
They're all in the same division.
That's my point. So if you say, oh, Philly had a super easy one and Dallas had a hard one, they all had a pretty hard schedule.
No, I'm saying they all had easy schedules.
Really?
I think that they all had relatively easy schedules. Yes, I'd say compared to teams like the Packers, yeah, they had easy schedules.
Sure, Packers did have a tough one. So did the Vikings. Okay, that's valid. See, I just want to see a cool Super Bowl. Last year's Super Bowl sucked.
Matt, I guarantee you, any matchup that we're going to get here is going to be an interesting Super Bowl.
Jacksonville, San Francisco would be fun.
Jacksonville, San Francisco would be fun. Jacksonville, New York would be fun. Jacksonville, Philly would be fun. Right. Kansas City against any of these teams would be fun. Buffalo or Cincinnati are flashy teams anyway.
That's a fair point.
It's going to be a fun Super Bowl.
Who do you think has the highest chance at the moment? Disregard the playoff anomaly. Let's look like
if I've data. Okay, so we're saying the highest after watching these teams cut it off right at the end of the regular season.
Out of these 8, we're just looking at playoffs.
Playoffs.
Momentum, everything. We can look at rosters. We can look at anything. I don't want to take in regular season shenanigans.
Okay, if we are just simply looking at rosters, Buffalo takes everything. It'll be a Buffalo San Francisco Super Bowl, and Buffalo takes it.
Yeah, see, I still have San Francisco. I think they have a better roster. He's going to say Cincinnati has a better roster. Who has the better roster out of Buffalo or Cincy?
Out of Cincy, I think offensive-wise, it's definitely Cincinnati. Offensive-wise. Defensive-wise, I think it's Buffalo, and therefore I think it's a toss-up.
You're just wrong.
Yeah, you're still wrong, but
Look,
I'll accept your opinion.
All of these teams are phenomenal teams, and I think it can go anywhere.
Yeah, no, we're going to have really fun divisional round. as the teams get less and less, we're going to look more into key players. I'm excited to kind of look. I want to see how good is Patrick Mahomes really going to play. We know he's going to put on a show.
Hey, but here's the thing. I see Jacksonville on their schedule, and I'm like, oh, yeah, no, that's going to be a walk in the park, but it's not.
They've played each other before. Here's the thing. They played each other before. Patrick Mahomes had about 3 turnovers, I think. But it was a lot of really weird play from both teams. That's why I think Jacksonville could take this. Just out of the fact that they're both, like when they last played, it was such a weird toss-up game. Well, Jacksonville wasn't playing as good as they did.
I feel the same way about Trevor Lawrence as I do about Dak Prescott. He either shows up to play or doesn't.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Kansas City, Jacksonville might be the sneaky game of the week. I'm excited to see it.
No, dude, I have to watch Philly, New York. That's going to be the game of the week. There's no okay. You can't not watch any.
It's a divisional game too.
All of these games are good, dude. Buffalo, Cincinnati.
Yeah, we haven't had too many weird ones.
I'm saying the same thing. It's just they're all going to be great matchups.
We have good football ahead of us.
Fantastic
football. And I hope everything lives up to the promise. I hope everyone's week is great.
Well,
with that being said,
I'm Johnny and this is Matt, and you just listened to Third and Long on KCAT Radio.
This series is brought to you by Los Gatos Morning Rotary. Thank you for supporting student podcasting in support of mental health.